Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I want to do this way out of necessity. I have to do this. I know I told you guys that that would be the last video, but I need to make sure I draw some emphasis on some other truth. All right, so the last video was based on truth, and this one will be the exact same. I want to make sure that there's a library or a space, if you will, for you guys to be able to learn something that's unavoidable. Like you're going to see it show up eventually. It's just I'm trying to cut the time that it'll take before you come to realize some things. All right. So the channel is about just you being able to discover what it is that's necessary for you to learn if you really want to pursue this as a career. Want to say that to you. You want to be independent. You want to be independent. So you need to avoid codependency experiences, memberships, subscriptions. You're going to want to stay away from that stuff. Absolutely leave that stuff alone because it goes against the overall objective. You're trying to be independent. You want financial freedom. You want to get away from the job, or you already have a career and you just want more. Either way, you want to be independent. That's the whole goal of wanting to be a self-directed trader. Really important that you stay away from anything that don't foster that kind of outcome. So if it don't get you to that kind of outcome, I want you to leave it alone. Number one, the video will be short. We're gonna look at a chart too. Let's do that real quick. Let's go ahead and do that. But I want to say that, and then I'm going to show you some other information. All right. So I just drew this up here really quick. This was the center of that trend down. There's the 7 bars. Trying to give you some information while I talk to you. So they're probably turning right back around here. And so if you're new to the channel, I'm gonna do this for you real quick. It wasn't my goal to get up here and try to teach. I told you the library is there for you. So I'm not really trying to teach you anything, to be honest with you. Just want to give you some information while talking with you. All right, so they didn't break this low. So let's go one, two, three. I'm sorry, three, four, five, six, and there's seven. All right, so normally when they go roughly about seven, they all have to be higher or lower than the prior. So I'm trying to give you some information while I talk to you. All right. So you don't want to be codependent. That's really important that you don't do that because it goes against your objective of wanting to be a trader, and that's being independent. Memberships, subscriptions, all of that stuff is absolutely not what you need. Now I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm all about telling you why. It's really important that you have understanding when it comes to what it is that you're going to experience by being on the channel. I'm all about just giving you exactly what you need, and truth is important. All right, truth is important. Absolutely. You're not going to achieve a reality that makes sense without truth being involved. It's not how you feel. That's why I don't sensationalize trading because it's not about that. You go and start doing, feelings, you're going to, disappointment is a feeling too. All right. So we want to stay as far away from you know, doing things that's not objective. Now, of course, feelings are involuntary, so you will have them. You can't remove them. I don't suggest you try. I'm not a stoic in any fashion, but I do have it's important that you focus. All right, so there's the distance for the trend up. So that should land them right here at 765. Notice when you pull up the chart, this is what the channel should be able to present to you because that's what I'm offering you, an opportunity not to be codependent upon anyone. It's really important that you get that. I don't want you codependent because it goes against the independency that you're looking for when it comes to, your financial future. Now, on the channel, I did want you guys to be more interdependent, which was work with me, share the information, hit the like button, of course, to get the content out, okay, to share with others. But I'm not a YouTube personality, so I don't plan on, of course, doing uploads. And that's why I told you as of this year, well, this month actually, that I hadn't planned on doing any more uploads because it's a library. I like interdependency, and I saw there was no more than probably about 7 committed traders that was willing to further the information. I mean, 7 committed people out of 200, and as to date, 44. Really unfortunate, but subscriptions, you want to stay away from that stuff. All right. This is some more truth for you. You need to leave that alone. Now, the price points. The reason why the price points are the price points when it comes to the memberships and the subscriptions is because they know most of the people that's going at this, just like the prop firms, they're doing the same thing. They know that typically you're not going to last. And so they don't want you to feel taken advantage of by paying a significant price. It's just that simple. The unfortunate part is that you're exchanging one problem for another. Because anyone, of course, of you that's already in the working field, you know that you have to purchase, of course, the wardrobe, if you will, to get the job done. And if they provide you the wardrobe, you may not be working the best job. And to be quite honest, you still have to, of course, pay for the cost of getting there, waking up early, doing the commute. So you're still paying in some way, working longer hours. In some way, you're going to pay. And so you kind of exchange one problem for another by doing the subscriptions and as well as the memberships. So try to stay away from that. Just want to tell you that I don't care where it's at, Discord, it doesn't matter. Stay away from that stuff. That's the whole reason why I put the information on the channel. They made the trend distance right there. All right, so just pulling up the chart, giving it a quick look, and that's what you got. Now I'm gonna show you some other information really quickly, and then I'm gonna go. But that's some truth I want you to know. Now I said in the last video here, the one that I had covered here, I told you you should only be doing this about 90 days, and then after that, seek some professional help. And this is the most important part as to why I'm back up here. Because even though I told you that, I'm not in no way trying to. I took my company offline. So that tells you right there. I'm not interested in trying to have you, I'm not trying to do that. All right. So I want to make you independent as much as I possibly can for absolutely zero cost. Now, should you, and it's up to you, want to pursue anything outside of that, you can, and that's why I'm gonna put a little bit more information here for you. And I've intentionally left a lot of this away from the channel because I don't want to I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But I'm tired of typing. Okay, I'm just tired of typing, and I want to make sure that this information is readily available to anyone stopping by the channel as well. And that way, I don't have to keep typing this. I really want you to take the information that's on the channel very seriously. Very seriously. I don't want you to bypass this. And all right. I don't want you to enlist and try to, get my services. I want you to take the information on the channel very seriously first. The goal is to get you free with free information. I kind of want to, it's like an experimental thing that I'm doing right now. I want to prove that a lot of the stuff that's online is absolutely it's some words I would like to use, but Imma just go with wrong. It's just wrong because I don't wanna take up too much time and explain to you what's happening to you. It's wrong, and I don't wanna see it being done to you. So I wanna see free get you your freedom, alright? It's really important. Now, once you get your freedom, you can do whatever you want, enlist anybody's services, not just mine. You can enlist anybody's services. I just will advise you with this. If whoever you go with is not making emphasis on listening to the market itself, you got the wrong person. You got the wrong company. I promise you that. You got the wrong company. You're going at it the wrong way. You need to be able to listen to the market because the market is going to tell you what it's going to do. Absolutely, bar none. And anyone that's of course suggesting anything other than that, they're not making it realistic. It's realistic to listen to the information that's being disclosed at the time that you're trying to take your trade. Now, I'm going to show you some other information really quickly here. Let me show you some other information. I told you in prior videos that I teach people how to read markets like literature. All right. So, not going to read it all to you clearly, but this is some of what kind of like a handout that you would get going into it. All right. Now, I exposed you here on the channel to this information. I have just via not directly to function. All right, so the market has functions. All right, and how it works, there's mechanics to this stuff. Here's a simple way of looking at it. All right, so the intention whenever you read literature, I want to say this to you from the title to the last remark. The author is always trying to make mention of what it is that the book is all about. And so when you look at the chart, you need to see it the same way. And that's why this diagram, really quickly, that's why this diagram is important. Okay, because the information that you're looking at, this is information, that's all it is. You're having to process this mentally, all right? And see, no one takes the time and try to explain this to you. They try to give you a lot of reference points, all right? open, high, low, close. They try to go at it from that aspect when in all actuality, it's just information. All right. It's really important that you get that. And that's why I talk to you about your mind. I know you have feelings about trading. It's involuntary. You're going to feel something about it. And I'm not a stoic. I promise you that. But I want you to understand that when you read information, you have to do it in a structural manner. And a lot of those codependent experiences that you would subscribe to based on the low price point is what essentially is going against the overall objective, and that's you being independent. You have to know what the author, the market itself, is suggesting to you at any given moment. You have to know what that is, and it's something that needs to be done in real time. See, that's the other part. I told you to stay away from moderators that do a lot of hindsight. It won't help you. This job need to be done in real time. So when I pulled up the chart, I immediately told you they should go that far. All right. So very objective how you should look at markets, and I teach this. Reiteration is absolutely important, and there's some information there for you. You can read this stuff. I'm not going to read it for you. Comparisons. All right. So you need to be able to look at the chart and understand difference. Really important. How I go about trading has everything to do with that. All right. Really important to do with that because being being wise in life is you being able to recognize the difference of something versus something else. You got to be able to see the difference, and by doing so it'll bring you to the cause and effect part of it. It's really important, so you should know how far the market plan to go based on what it's intending. All right, because if you read any kind of literature, if you don't of course adhere to the information that's in the literature or pay attention to the I guess the narrative, if you will, you'll never be able to understand what the book was all about or what the chart is actually telling you. So that's something that I want you to definitely know. And so that's why I talk to you about the mind, because the market was designed by a collection of thoughts. It was a collection of minds that came together, and they well thought out minds. The participants, although we participate, they create the outcome and absolutely will ensure with the function that that outcome will happen. It will. So I want to make sure when you look at the chart you're looking at it based on the same thing that you're doing day to day. All right, so you're doing this every day you're doing this, and the market is doing the same. So that's why the destiny is present with the thought. Okay, they both will look the same. All right, so they absolutely will look the same. And so when you pull up the chart, oftentimes, if you can spot what a trend is, it'll tell you how far to go. Because remember, these are the three things that you're looking for all the time. You're looking for those three things. Now, this is something that I exposed you to as well. All right. So you need 50% of this run to get above this high. That's that price pattern. And if you're going down, it's in the opposite sense. And I even told you about the three lows, three highs. I put all that in the new to the channel video. Let me put that in front of you. But if you want to see an example of that, and a recent one, I did that in Bitcoin. So I did that whole diagram in Bitcoin. All right. I absolutely walked through this price run, went beyond that pivot. They should turn from here. And if you go back and watch both of these videos, you'll see I gave you an example of that structure diagram there. So you don't have to watch a lot of market structure videos online. I know a lot of people are doing that right now, trying to trying to make you think that this stuff is always changing and you need a new year, new information, new strategy, new method. Here's some truth. I'm just giving you some truth, and I hope that you can appreciate this information that I'm putting on this channel, because I want to free you. I want to get you where you want to go. So new to the channel, I went over the three lows, three highs. I went over that. I went over that. It's really important that you look at the market for information that's it's always doing, and that's the thing that I think it's wrong, because they're charging you every month, every 2 weeks, whatever the subscriptions are, memberships cost nowadays. They're charging you for the same thing all the time. And the problem with that is, God forbid, something happened to the company or the people that's offering you this information, and you have responsibilities, whether it's your family or yourself. Where does that leave you? And if you only knew that what they're suggesting, because I can't say it's the truth, because if they was telling you the truth, you would be offended that they will keep charging you the same. Well, they even increase at times, I'm sure, that they will charge you for something that keeps happening over and over and over again. So why would you need that kind of experience? Now, professionals, now this is the thing I will tell you. The thing that makes the price point different with professionals is this. And most professionals that offer services, they offer you a level of experience that's going to make sure that their reputation stands. Okay. And so when you now this I'm talking about me and other professionals. Again, I'm not a YouTube personality. That's why I don't plan on making a whole bunch of YouTube videos because it impedes the process of you being able to trust the chart. All you need is to be able to look at your chart, not mine. Look at your chart and see the exact same thing that I would have seen if I looked at your chart too. And so most educators out here that's professionally doing this, they ensure that their reputation is associated with your experience. And so they don't want you dependent. At least most professionals shouldn't want that for you. And so with my services, and I'll just talk about mine, the reason that the price point is significantly different than price points, of course, with all this other stuff out here, is because I put my education on your chart. And so when you get templates from me, you get me on your chart. And so you're able to follow the information as it plots. There's a single bar plot, a double bar plot, and there's a triple bar plot. And so it allows you to dynamically stay in the trade. And I teach you how to read the real time, not just the plot, but while the market is absolutely moving, what you should be expecting. And so you'll have an idea of how the bar need to close. That's important. And so when I tell you that the market is all about repetition, remember we just looked at the functions. So it's all about repetition, reiteration. It's all of this is really important for you to further your experience with being a trader and being independent. So when I made this suggestion in the prior video, and I don't want to have to keep typing this, I really don't. When it comes to seeking professional help, it's not about trying to bypass the channel and list my services. Don't do that. I encourage anyone that, of course, message me to please have you looked at the information on the channel. You'll probably find that if you use that information, you may not even need my services. And even if you did, I would feel a lot better about your experience with me if you took what it is that I was explaining to you for free to give you the freedom to, to pursue whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's my services or someone else's. I would feel a lot better about that if you took what was on the channel forward. Take that forward. I would love to spend time with anybody that want to, spend time with me. I have no problem with doing that. I don't want a job. That's why I took my company offline. So I don't plan on, doing this. Training a lot of people. I don't want to do that. I train. I'll train as much as my schedule will allow. Again, I'm not up here for that, and that's why I've refrained and pretty much intentionally left a lot of my information away from this channel because the goal is to get you guys away from being dependent. And so there shouldn't be a lot of YouTube videos to upload. Of course, the market, it can make a new high, make a new low. It can, but you don't need someone to have to cover that every day, every 2 days, talking to you about the same information. No fancy thumbnails, intros, a lot of music. I'm not doing any of that stuff, sensationalizing this stuff. I'm not going to tell you a bunch of terminology, make up a lot of, funny words when it comes to the market. It's doing the same thing. It is. And so it's really important. I want you to know this. You're really looking for three things, and I tried to provide all three of these just with the free information on the channel. And yes, there's a lot more to my services. It is. I just wanted to put in front of you just some of what it is, so I don't have to keep typing it. There's more indicators clearly that I've coded. I just showed you the ones that's on the templates, and you actually get four of them. But there's other indicators I have, and you can mix them up however you want. But the goal is that you know that when you get professional services, it's not like that $300 stuff, $200 stuff, the same amount of money you'll have to spend to, get your outfit to go to work. It's a different experience, so the price point is different, and you need to know why. You need to know why because it's all about being independent. If you want independency, that comes at a cost. You have to pay for that. You have to if you want to get away from doing the routine of waking up and being frustrated when you trade because you want out, it costs. It does. Just want you to know that. But again, you can enlist anyone's help. I just said in the other video, 90 days, because no one talks about how long you should be involving yourself in this information before it becomes apparent that you need the help. Self-taught trader, and I'm telling you that because I am. I've spent so many years, so much money, only to discover it's doing the same exact thing over and over and over again. And you'll be absolutely shocked if you knew that it's far simpler than just being able to pull up this chart and tell you, hey, it'll go at least this far. Now, sure, it can repeat the same thing over and over and over again, as long as it don't make a trend back in the opposite direction. Sure can. It can get right back up here to 76. And you can actually know that it can go higher because I told you on the daily that now this is daily. I don't have it in front of me, but I told you it wasn't in a downtrend on the daily. So are they turning around to go back up again? I'll let you be the judge. But it's really important that you know 90 days is a sufficient amount of time, no matter what your learning curve is. I don't care what kind of backdrop you've of course, come from as far as, your work ethics or your level of course, academia or whatever. To trade, it's very simple and it doesn't matter. I promise you, it doesn't matter. You don't have some kind of learning, problem when it comes to this stuff. I know it may appear to be that way at times. Well, when people trade, why is it that I'm still having a hard time with this? It's not you. It's so simple, and it's just being hidden from anyone really. It really is. It's on that hard right edge and moving forward. So on that hard right edge and moving forward. Okay, you need to know what's happening right here. What's happening right here. Now to give you some idea, again, it's like the book, the literature, okay, from the title to the last remarks. It's going to echo the same message all the way to the end. But how to time yourself into it, again, I provide information that plots on the chart and help you walk the trade down the board all the way to what it is that you want. Really important that you understand that. And that's what makes for the difference of professional help, because most professionals will provide you some software or some indicators that will help you get to the targets along with the education. My stuff is price action based. Absolutely. I don't have a lot of funny rhetoric and all. I don't have any of that. So my stuff is indicative of how I teach here on YouTube. So when you listen to the information here on the channel, if you like just some of what you're hearing here, how I code is indicative of the same thing. It's all about information and what it should do, given that it's being suggested. It's just like the 26 letters in the alphabet, and we speak almost 7,000, if not more, words a day. It's still 26 letters. I don't care how many words you use. The main point is that you understand what the person is saying, and so the market is the same thing. And so when I code, I understand that I need to look for the message that the market is sending, and it's really important that you're able to hear that. All right, so no more typing. I'm gonna try my best not to do that. I want to be able to respond to individuals that have inquiries about my services and how it works. It's just a lot to type, and of course, there's so much more. I just can't show you guys here on YouTube. But this is something I definitely wanted you guys to be able to have an idea of why the price points are price points. And again, if you want this simple indicator here that colors here, you can get this. I told you guys that I give you the free template with the chart scale, the ranges, the statics. I'm trying to give you so much stuff that you can just go ahead and be independent. You can do it. And from there, if you decide to want to do anything more, that's up to you. And you can go with anyone you choose. It's really important that you understand that. It's all about caring about people. That's important. That's what the channel is all about. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take